The new season is just around the corner, and football fans across the globe are holding their breath. Between the transfer window drama, the Club World Cup, and even the friendlies, it's already clear. The 2025-26 season is shaping up to be something truly special. Sure, it's football. Things will get unpredictable. But still, there are a few things we can say with confidence. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Special shout out to the subscriber who's been asking for this video in the comments. We see you. These are 10 things that are almost guaranteed to happen in the 2025-26 season. We actually did a similar video last year, and guess what? We got a lot of it right. If you're curious how accurate we were, feel free to check out that video after this one. Now let's look ahead to the new season. Let's start with the Premier League. And one major trend we expect: the gap between the big clubs and the smaller ones is about to get wider. Last season, we saw surprises everywhere. Nottingham Forest qualified for Europe. Crystal Palace beat Manchester City to lift the FA Cup. Newcastle took the EFL Cup after beating Liverpool. Even Brighton and Bournemouth had standout campaigns. But in 2025-26, things could swing the other way. The top clubs have spent big in the transfer window, and we're about to see the impact of that spending on the pitch. Brentford, for example, have lost their manager, their goalkeeper, their top scorer, a key midfielder, and might lose their striker too. Bournemouth have already lost 2 of their starting defenders, and a third could be on the way out. Wolves have said goodbye to both their best player and best defender. Forest, they've lost 2 of their best players already. We could go on, but you get the idea. The smaller clubs are being weakened, and the giants are strengthening. Still in the Premier League, here's another bold prediction. The all-time goals record is about to be broken. The current record for most goals in a 38-game Premier League season is 1,246, set in 2023-24. But with the talent flooding in this summer, that number might not survive. The league has welcomed some serious firepower: Victor Gyökeres, Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Thierno Barry, just to name a few. And established goal scorers like João Pedro, Liam Delap, Matheus Cunha, and Brian Bumo, they're joining better teams with more chances to score. That means their numbers could explode. And that's not all. There are still rumors about Alexander Isak moving to a bigger club, and Benjamin Šeško possibly arriving in the league. Add that to the likes of Salah, Haaland, Saka, and Cole Palmer, all still hungry for goals. And we could be looking at 1,300-plus goals this season. Think that's a bold call? Trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Now, before we attempt to predict who will lift the Premier League trophy in 2026, let's shift our focus to La Liga, where big departures could be on the cards for both Barcelona and Real Madrid. Let's start with Barca. The relationship between the club and Marc-Andre ter Stegen seems to be on thin ice. With a new young goalkeeper already signed, the German might be on his way out. Lewandowski's future also looks uncertain. And don't be shocked if a big name like Rafinha ends up leaving too. Over at Real Madrid, Dani Carvajal might finally step aside now that Trent Alexander-Arnold has joined. There's also talk about possible exits for Rudiger and Alaba. And while it might sound unlikely now, even Vinicius Jr. or Rodrigo could surprise us with a move. Now, this next one, no one wants to hear it, but it's probably going to happen. Injuries will hit the big clubs hard. It's not a curse, it's just reality. Players are playing more games than ever. The Champions League has expanded, the Nations League is more intense, and the Club World Cup is now a full-on tournament. Players aren't machines. Sooner or later, the overload is going to take its toll. And the clubs with the best players, the ones who feature for both club and country, non-stop, will feel it the most. But it's not all bad news. One of the most exciting things we expect this season? A fallen giant will rise again. Now, we can't say for sure who it'll be, but one big-name club is definitely about to bounce back. Could it be Manchester United, AC Milan, Ajax, maybe even Everton? Each of these teams has made major changes, new signings, new coaches, some even have new ownership. And importantly, United, Everton, and Milan won't be playing in Europe. That gives them more time to focus, recover, and plan. On the flip side, we're predicting a stumble for the current kings of Europe, PSG. Yes, they had an unbelievable 2024-25 season. their first ever Champions League win, a European treble, and domination across the board. Even without the Club World Cup, they're just one trophy away from the sextuple. And yet, we think next season they'll get found out. They've been riding a wave of momentum, but once the new Champions League format settles in, the fear factor might disappear. Opponents will adapt, and we believe PSG could struggle, even in the group stage. Once teams stop fearing PSG, they'll become a lot easier to play against. Don't get us wrong, they'll still be a fantastic side, but they may no longer be the unstoppable force we saw last season. And speaking of the Champions League, expect one wild run from a surprise team. Right now, our eyes are on Napoli and Galatasaray. Both clubs just won their domestic leagues, and both have been seriously strengthening their squads this summer. Napoli have already brought in Noah Lang and Kevin De Bruyne, and they're not done yet. And with Antonio Conte leading the charge, you know they're going to be organized and fearless. Galatasaray, on the other hand, made a statement by signing Leroy Sané and securing Victor Osimhen on a permanent deal. If things go their way, don't be surprised if one of these two makes it all the way to the quarterfinals, or even the semis. Now, back to the Premier League, because there's one rivalry that's about to get even more intense: Manchester City versus Arsenal. This fixture has been heating up for the past few years, but it might just explode in the 2025-26 season. Last season alone had all the drama. Haaland threw a ball at Gabriel. He told Arteta to be humble and threw shade by asking, "Who's MLS?" Then MLS fired back, doing Haaland's celebration after helping Arsenal humble City. It was spicy, and Arsenal walked away with the bragging rights. But City aren't ones to forget. They'll want revenge. And Arsenal? They've now got their own headline striker with a lot of personality, so you already know, it's going to be chaos. Honestly, we wouldn't even be shocked if things boil over into a full-on brawl. So, who wins the Premier League title in the end? Of course, Liverpool are the early favorites. They're defending champions. They've had a ridiculous transfer window. Everything points to them being strong again. Arsenal will definitely be up there too. They've finished second 3 seasons in a row, and now they finally have a top-class striker. They're hungry. They want more than just a near miss. But here's our bold call. We believe the title will go to either Manchester City or Chelsea. And no, it's not because we're biased. It's because history supports it. Pep Guardiola has never gone more than a single season without winning a league title, not once in his career. That's a powerful pattern. As for Chelsea, they've got this strange habit of winning major trophies under Italian managers. Premier League under Ancelotti and Conte, Champions League under Di Matteo, Europa League under Sarri, Cup Winners' Cup and Super Cup under Vialli. And now, they've got Maresca, another Italian, and he's already delivered the Club World Cup. Could the league title be next? Maybe. We're not ruling Liverpool out entirely, they'll still be contenders. But now that they've conquered the league again, we suspect their full focus might shift toward winning another Champions League. Also, let's not forget, Liverpool haven't won back-to-back league titles since the 1980s. So history isn't exactly on their side when it comes to a repeat. Now, before we wrap up, here's something a bit wild. Something strange is going to happen during the Winter Games, and it'll take place in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. We don't know exactly what it'll be, but keep your eyes open. It's going to be something bizarre. Trust us. So now it's your turn. How many of these predictions do you think will come true? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're there, make your own bold prediction for the 2025-26 season. We'll be reading them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, hit subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss an upload. We've got plenty more coming your way. See you in the next one.